Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 503. And this is one of those chapters where you know that Luffy knew that he crossed the line, but I love how he has a zero chill about the fact, because he looks at the rest of the Straw Hats and he says, hey guys, I know I screwed up pretty bad. The Navy's probably going to come now. What do we do? And I just love how nonchalant he is, and I love the fact that Luffy acknowledged that basically he crossed the line that shouldn't be crossed. But when Luffy's got that moral compass and he sees things that shouldn't be going in a certain way, or at least on how he believes, he sticks to what drives him as a person. And I found that very interesting, because one of the things that you see is everyone's freaking out, everyone's trying to leave the hall. And I love how when the Straw Hats say, look Luffy, it's okay, and you got Nami, she's telling Hachi after he says, you guys in big trouble, she says, well, it's Luffy, what do you expect? And that's why I was really tempted to call the last chapter Luffy, you big dummy. I'm not sure what I'm going to title it right now. I'm leaning against actually doing that. But I love how as soon as that happens, you have Sanji, he goes through, kicks one of the guys that's going to try and shoot Luffy. You have Zoro telling Luffy, like, it's okay, you punched him, but I was going to cut his ass first. And I just love how there's just complete disrespect going. They don't care about these celestial dragons. And I love how Oda, in a very nice way, is kind of hinting at different class systems and whatnot. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but, you know, in certain parts of the world, particularly I think it's Southeast Asia, in certain parts you actually have a caste system which is set up based on class, and whatever you're born into, that's what you're stuck at. There is no rising up and down during the ranks. That's what you're going to be defined by. And I love how Oda has these celestial dragons, and we know that they're the descendants of the original creators of the One Piece world, if you will, and it lets them walk around. They have this sense of entitlement. We've seen them walking on actual humans and shooting the ones that act like useless slaves. And even now, when you look at the language that's being used, one of the celestial dragons is so pissed off over what's going on. He says, I'm going to gut and stuff the women. I'm going to use the men as slaves, but I'm going to starve them. It's showing that they look at people more as objects, more as tools than actual people. And I love how Oda just incorporates that in there. And then you have Luffy, who is the exact opposite, where Luffy sees people as Luffy. Luffy values the bonds that people share. And him wearing that straw hat is a bond in itself, because it connects him to Shanks. Because Shanks, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Shanks told him, you can wear my straw hat, just give it to me when you get on the Grand Line one day, when you become a great pirate. And I just love the fact that that's there. And then Luffy has the Vivre paper, or the life paper, that connects him with Ace. Right now it's dwindling down because Ace is being set to be executed. Luffy doesn't know it, but, you know, again, bonds. And so for Luffy, right away he's like, we gotta get Cammy out of here. And that's one of the things they had to plan for. You know, Chopper's just like, hey, I gotta treat Hachi's wounds, which is, again, you know, the medic in him coming out, which is pretty cool to see that they staying in character. And all the other Straw Hats, they're launching into the battle. They're just creating utter chaos at this point. And you even have Brook just launched through the air because the Flying Fish Riders bring in the rest of the Straw Hats. Usopp accidentally falls on one of the Celestials and say, hey dude, I'm sorry about that. You okay? Okay, fuck you then. You got Nico Robin just elegantly falling. In that moment, Nico Robin was trying to imitate Nami. She was falling from the air, and she, you know, used her the flower fruit to basically sprout a bunch of hands, if you will, and use those as wings. I haven't seen that in anime. It looks like hands. She might be able to sprout wings. I might have that mixed up. Again, I'm reading the manga. I'm not actually watching the anime at this point. I'm still all the way back on Alabasta, so you got to fill me in on that one. But I'm pretty sure that's what was going on. But Nico Robin descends down, and then as soon as she gets there, she doesn't hesitate to get into the action. And I love that about Nico Robin, simply for the fact that she's one of these characters where, yes, she's a beautiful woman, but at the same time, when she sees action, she sees that things need to be done, she jumps right into them, no hesitation. That's very, very cool to see. You know, you see it so much with a lot of different shonens. The women, they're not very well written. They're more the damsel in distress, or they're helpful up to a certain point. You hadn't really seen that with either of the women in the Straw Hat crew. And even when they've had different women accompany them for whatever reasons, like when it was Vivi or when they had Conus all the way back in Skypiea, they still pulled the weight to a certain degree. So I love what I'm seeing in this regard. Now, with that being said, we do have to talk about what's going on at the very end of this chapter, where after all the chaos ensues and we find out that there's actually an admiral already here and they're trying to capture someone who we know is Rayleigh. We know they're trying to capture Rayleigh, but we find out from Law that the Navy had basically already had a base on the archipelago, and I think that was broken down when everything was listed. I think the Navy base was number 60. But what's really cool about that is the fact that Luffy, unbeknownst to him, there's somebody walking towards him. It's somebody with a slender build, and I love just the design where it has like the admiral symbol on it, and it says in the kanji that, you know, it's red or whatnot. I love the fact that as he's walking through the chaos, Luffy is causing more and more of it, and that dude Law is quickly rising up my ranks. I like just how chill he is. He says, Luffy, thank you so much for the laughs. And he doesn't get up. He's one of these people who is one of the rookies that is likely going to draw the attention later on down the grand line of one of these admirals. And yet, he's just like, hey, I'm going to sit here for the whole thing. That's pretty cool, just the fact that he's so chill under these circumstances. And then, when you have Rayleigh just step onto the scene, and I know this is what he did. He released his haki because everyone else who was standing, they all kind of collapsed in the same way that when Shanks came through, when he walked on Whitebeard's ship, it's just like Shanks walked in and he said, okay, big dick swinging, everyone out the way or it might hit you. And that's what happened right here when Rayleigh releases his haki after saying, I'm such an old slave, who's really going to try and buy me, right? And it just shows you that if he can casually do what Shanks did when Shanks walked on there with a seriousness about him, I'm guessing haki is one of those things where it kind of relates with your emotions or whatnot, kind of like how chakra and ki works. So I'm really interested to learn more about how this haki stuff works. But what's also cool is the fact that the Straw Hats, for the most part, don't seem affected. Luffy is drawn in a way where it looks like there's a little concern on him, like he's feeling the pressure. And it's kind of reminding me what happened in Bleach, where when Ichigo first encountered a captain's presence, it was suffocating. And yet he was still able to move. He had enough sense about him. And the same thing happened when he encountered Kenpachi. He knew, like, oh shit, this is real. And that's what's happened with Luffy. And Rayleigh acknowledges it. Rayleigh, it doesn't acknowledge the rest of the Straw Hats. The rest of the Straw Hats are still there standing. And even Sanji says, what's this old guy doing? But he says, I wanted to meet you, Monkey D. Luffy. So it just shows you he knows who Luffy is. So I'm really interested to see where that's going to be going. And I can't wait to see interaction between Luffy and Rayleigh, simply for the fact that Rayleigh was on Gold Roger's ship. Rayleigh was his first mate, his right-hand man. So that's me really cool just to see them interact and maybe Luffy kind of pick his brain or whatnot. And also the fact that there's an admiral coming. We know Luffy is nowhere near admiral level, but it'd be cool to see if maybe Luffy teams up with Rayleigh and they cause a lot of fuss. That'd be so awesome, simply for the fact that you would have people on this island who know that Luffy yet again did something crazy. And not to say they'll defeat an admiral, but maybe force him to retreat or whatnot. But my chapter question to you guys is, out of all the Straw Hat entrances that came in, who did you think made the best entrance? For me, I would probably say Usopp, simply for the fact when Usopp fell, you can tell the whole comedy aspect was there. I thought it was pretty hilarious. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have an awesome